Okay, so been getting a ton of comments from people about watches, wanting to see my watches, my watch collection. Thought I'd do a quick little video here about the five that I wear the most. Um, been wearing watches my whole life, ever since I was a kid. I don't really accessorize outside of wearing a watch, so jewelry, things like that. This is the only thing that I'll wear. And because of that, I have more than a few, right? So these are the five, like I said, that I wanted to talk about today, and we're going to kind of go in ascending order in terms of price and maybe accessibility for folks. So we'll start with the cheapest one and then move our way up to something that is a little bit more pricey, like a heavy hitter for me at least. And I'll talk through why I like them and how I wear them. So just to get started, I have pretty small wrists. I'm a skinnier guy, so everything that I wear is under like 37 millimeters in diameter. Can't really get anything bigger to look right. And personally, one of the main things that I look for when I'm getting a watch is something that's comfortable. So everything has to be slim enough to kind of slide under a cuff, if that makes sense. So I've tried bigger ones. I don't like that clunky feeling and having to like adjust here and there. I want something that I can forget about on my wrist. So yeah, we'll start with the, I guess, most affordable watch that I have. It is this Casio F91W right here. So this is a pretty well-known watch. I think anyone who's into watches knows about this. It's like the quintessential cheap digital watch. You can get this for like $10 at most places in the world. I like it a lot because, number one, this is like my go-to beater watch, I guess. Super comfortable on the wrist. It's probably the most comfortable watch that I have. Like, it's so light and small, you just kind of forget that it's even on the wrist sometimes. It passes that slide under the cuff test, which is great. And yeah, you can't really go wrong with a watch like this. I don't know, there's not much to say about it like that hasn't been said already. Tons of videos about this watch in particular, literature, blog posts, things like that you can read. I prefer this actually to the G-Shock, also from Casio. I've owned G-Shocks before, but I think for my needs, it's water resistant enough, it's durable enough, and if anything ever goes wrong with it, you lose it or it breaks, you can just buy a new one relatively easily. So definitely recommend this if like you want to spend as little money as possible on a wristwatch. This would be the go-to. I think it looks great as well. Okay, moving on up. If you wanted to spend a little bit more money and get a watch that's a little, I guess, more unique or has a little more character, you can get something like this, which is a Timex Ironman. I've done a video where I talked about this already. And again, between this and the Casio, I probably only need one of them, but I bought it because I like the look of this. It's got this nice pop of orange. Pretty thin as well. Comfortable strap. If I can just get it on. And yeah, I mean, I just like the look of it, you know? Can slide under. Well designed. This does have more functions than the Casio. So, like, I don't know if you can see pretty well here. The light is a lot better. It's got Timex's Indiglo. It has start and stopwatch lap functionality, which the Casio doesn't have. So when I'm working out, this is probably one that I'll wear. And I have been wearing this one more frequently as of late, just because that it's newer, and I like that it's unassuming and looks good. I'll kind of go through, I guess, phases with the watches that I wear. Like, I don't really switch them up all too much. If I'm wearing one, I'll wear it for like weeks on end until something happens that makes me want to switch. All right, so those are the two quartz, like, digital watches that I own. The next three are all automatics. I will start with this watch here, which is an older Seiko 5 model. I honestly think this is like the best budget automatic that you can buy. So I paid about $100 for this in college. It's had it for a long time now. They don't make these Seiko 5s anymore. They've updated the whole model line. But you can still find, I think, this particular model on a lot of sites. You can see it on here. It's got this nice white dial. Fits well. I really like the date window in particular. So not only do you have the date, but you also have the day there. Yeah, I just think this is like a perfect one watch collection if somebody was just looking for an affordable option. It's fully automatic. The one downside with this model, it's an older movement. You can kind of see it's got the exhibition case back. Because it's an older movement, it doesn't have hacking. And what that means, if you don't know, like you can't physically or manually stop the seconds hand. The only way that it charges too is by like movement. So there's no like winding mechanism, which is kind of annoying. If you haven't worn this in a long time, you gotta kind of like give it a bit of a shake to get it started. But yeah, I mean, I think you get a lot of watch for your money with all of the Seikos. This one in particular, I like more than the other model that is popular, which I think is the SNKS, and there isn't much out about this one in particular. Like, I haven't seen many videos done on it. But yeah, I think it's the best looking out of all their like older 5-line models. And, you know, it's water resistant, wears well. Yeah, this one in particular too is made in Japan, which is just like a nice, I guess, rarity that a lot of Seiko watches don't do at this price point. The bracelet, it's okay, a little jangly, but you know, it's comfortable, and that's what matters. So I'll wear this when I'm out if I want to look somewhat nice, put together, without being super flashy. It's a great everyday watch. Okay, so moving on, this is where we get into like the two more, I guess, luxury or expensive watches that I have. Starting with this, which is an Omega Seamaster Aqua Terra. This was like the first expensive thing that I bought that I didn't need. I got it for myself as a gift after getting my first big promotion. This was like 4 years ago. And it looks a lot like the Seiko. They're very similar, even like the body shape, right? So this just goes like to show you that you don't need to spend a lot to get this look, especially when you have a high quality option at a much cheaper price point. I bought this used online. Got a pretty good deal on it. Don't wear it as much as I used to. I guess you can call it a vintage model at this point. It was made, I think, in like 2004 is when it was dated at. I got it with the box and the papers, which is nice if I ever want to resell it. But yeah, I mean, this is like a classic sports watch, I guess. Really like the Omega brand. It's got, I don't know if you can see the back here. Pretty nice movement inside. I'm not going to go over specs and stuff because I don't know them, and you can look them up if you want, but this is a cool watch that I like to wear. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. I feel like it's very versatile. And they still make this model today. It's slightly updated, but I do recommend, if you want a more affordable option, definitely get like an older used one. I think they have different face colors. You can also get this in a quartz option. Yeah, I guess if this is like If you could only buy like one luxury watch, this would definitely be a good option because you could wear it in a lot of different settings. Okay, and the last one I will talk about is this right here. This is my, I guess, most expensive or valuable timepiece. And it was a gift from my fiance, an engagement gift, which was really sweet of her. She didn't have to do that, but I think she wanted to get me something after I got her an engagement ring, and I like watches, so this was a great thing to get. We did get this brand new at our retail location nearby. So yeah, this is definitely like a newer model watch. Came out just a few years ago. They're still making it. I have always liked this kind of dive watch aesthetic, right? And you've got this rotating bezel. Yeah, here. Yeah. Big fan of the look, big fan of the fact that it is a smaller dive watch, which is hard to find. Very vintage styled, a little thicker than the other ones that I've shown, but again, you can still tuck it under. It's got a nice weight to it. Another one that could probably be dressed up or dressed down. And yeah, like I said, it's like the nicest thing someone's ever given to me. So I'll probably wear this a lot for the rest of my life. The other thing I really like about this particular model is they call it the T-Fit clasp. So if you're looking into something like this, one of the big selling points in my opinion is that it's got this like small adjustable mechanism. So if you wear watches, you know the most annoying thing is like every day your body is slightly different. Your wrist is a little bigger, a little smaller. What that micro adjustment allows you to do is, you know, if it's really hot out and you swell up, you can pop a few millimeters of space and still wear your watch comfortably. So very practical, super nice in my opinion. Yeah, big fan. So yeah, that's the watch collection. Like I said, definitely don't need this many. I'm trying to downsize and make sure that everything that I own, even on the watch side, is like either super sentimental or has its own purpose. So don't intend to buy any new ones in the foreseeable future. And really, I think you could probably get away with just having two, right? Like one cheap one that you don't mind wearing whenever, wherever, banging it around, and then one nicer one that you can bring out when you want to look nice, you have a function to go to, or you just want to enjoy it yourself. That's basically it. Thanks.